From Jason, Dear Andrew, if a studio ever decided to make another one of your books into a movie, would you sell them the rights if you knew that they would change the message into a leftist message? That's a really good question, and I actually know the answer to this because I've been in similar situations. Once you have sold the rights to your book, you have no power to affect what they do. Unless you're the author of the Harry Potter books who had so much power, she could negotiate those. But most authors sell the rights to their books and have no power to affect the script. If you're a screenwriter, you don't really have that much power to affect the outcome of it. If I knew that they were going to make it have a message that I thought was truly wrong, I wouldn't take the money. I think I can say that, it's a hard thing to say, but I think I can say that pretty well. Once I took the money, I would understand that it was out of my control. So I've had conversations with people before they bought or optioned one of my books or one of my properties where I would say, where are you going with this? Before the show The Americans came out about the Russian spies, I was called into a similar project. It may have been that project, I don't know. And they asked me if I would be interested in doing it. And I said, I would be happy to do it, but I'm not going to make the Soviet Union look like the good guys. That's just not going to happen. And, it's like, thanks for coming in and we'll see you later. So if I knew I wouldn't do it, once you sell the script, you got to let it go. And if they muck it up, Clint Eastwood in my novel True Crime, the guy on death row is white, and he was put there because one of the reasons there was a rush to judgment is because they needed to answer the leftists who were crying out that the death penalty was unfairly applied to blacks. That's what happened. In the movie, they changed it so that it was a black guy on death row. I was unhappy about that, but once I had sold the rights to the book, it was theirs to make, and it was Clint Eastwood's movie, not mine. My product is the book, and I stick by that. I always quote James M. Cain, the great American mystery writer, who said, they asked him, he had things like Double Indemnity, great, The Postman Always Rings Twice, great books turned into great movies, and they asked him how he felt about what Hollywood did to his books, and he said, Hollywood did nothing to my books, they're right over there on the shelf. And that's the attitude I've tried to maintain.